never pushing themselves outside their comfort zone enough where you develop a worldview.
Well, when I mean grounded, I mean more like values and things like that. But if you think of it like in a party perspective, then I'm pretty grounded. I do not go out whatsoever. I just like to stay home, read a book, play Fortnite.
I don't think therapy is good for guys.
I do agree that Western therapy wouldn't really benefit or help them, because it's exactly like you said, it's how to kind of change how you feel about a problem instead of solving the problem. I think the biggest thing is just having the similar culture and value that comes with being Asian or living in an Asian household. So that helps a lot when you're in a relationship. You kind of have to be with someone that has the same values. It's important to be able to kind of understand your partner's emotions.
For teenagers, criminals, and poor people.
But I do believe in karma. Probably not so much manifestation. Not in the way that in the media now they say manifestation, if you say it enough, the universe will grant it to you. Kind of giving all the credit to the universe. I feel like manifestation works in a way where you tell yourself it enough that it's in your subconscious, so you do the steps to achieve whatever it is that you're manifesting.
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. I'm your host, Zach Evans. And first of all, thank you to all of our listeners. We've been seeing some explosive growth lately, and we have to thank all of you guys for that. Today, we got a special guest on the show. C, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell the audience your name, what you do, and your star sign.
Ooh, star sign. Okay. Hello, guys. My name is C. I'm a model/content creator here in LA, and I'm a Gemini.
No,
wait, what are you?
What do you think I am?
Okay, is it a fire sign?
No.
Or is it a
water my sign? Fire sign is my rising. That's why everybody thinks it's water.
Oh, yeah. You're a water sign. Yeah. Okay.
Nobody guesses mine. You're not going to guess it.
I'm probably not.
Pisces.
You're a Pisces?
Yeah. The best sign, proven by science, by the way.
Really?
Numerous studies, yes.
Okay, so can you be a very emotional person?
No.
Really?
I'm not at all. I take my emotions, I stuff them down deep inside my psyche.
Okay.
Where they belong.
Okay.
Well, and then I man up and I fix the problem.
Okay. No, that's interesting, because usually Pisces tend to show their emotion
crybabies. Yeah. I don't identify as a Pisces.
Okay.
You know the Gemini stereotype though, yeah?
The two-face one?
Yeah. I didn't believe in signs until I started meeting Geminis.
Really?
And then I was like, wait, I think there's something to this. I've only had a drink thrown on me twice in my life.
Okay.
Both of them were from your people. So.
Your people. No, Geminis have a bad rep, but when they say two-face, I like to think we're adaptable to situations. That's what I like.
I can tell you're in marketing. It makes sense now. You know how to spin things to make it seem better for you.
Yeah, just professional gaslighters, Geminis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, I used to be a very toxic individual.
Okay.
Back in my villain era.
Mm-hmm. You're not in your villain era anymore.
No. I'm a recovering fuckboy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But back in the day, I was like a professional fuckboy.
Mm-hmm.
Not like these amateurs that you see nowadays.
Okay, got you.
With the TikTok hair and the little bird scooters.
Okay. You're the sneaky ones that you don't think you are at first, and then
oh no, I was
out.
very honest about my fuckboy nature. But it's girls are falling for guys that have a bed that touches two walls.
Yeah.
Does he not know what a nightstand is? How you guys falling for these losers? I don't understand.
I mean, yeah. That's dating culture and just the standards, I feel in general are.
I actually feel sorry for girls nowadays. This new breed of dudes is just built different.
Yeah. They definitely are.
They take, shirtless selfies at LA Fitness.
Yeah, no, I can't.
And then post on Hinge.
At least it's not Planet Fitness.
Just become an adult fuckboy. Take your shirtless selfies at Equinox an adult and post them on Raya, okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like the real fuckboys.
Uh-huh.
So I'm a little disillusioned with the Gen Z culture because of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. I feel I don't really identify as a Gen Z.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You guys love identifying as different things.
Yeah. Actually, okay, that's what makes me Gen Z then. Okay, got you.
Move the mic a little bit closer to you.
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is good.
And then twist it so it's more facing. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. What do you think about Gen Z culture? What is the things you do and don't identify with?
I think the biggest thing is the sensitivity, and that also goes hand in hand with cancel culture. I just feel like Gen Z in general is just so sensitive to like everything, and they take everything so personally. And then with that comes like cancel culture. So if they see something that they don't agree with or whatnot, they immediately, you know, want to bash you or try to cancel you. But it's okay to like not agree with everything, or not everything is supposed to be one certain way, you know, like life is so, I guess, diverse, or like everyone has different life paths or different opinions, different perspectives. And I feel like Gen Z is kind of close-minded in a way when it comes to things like that.
So why do you think you turned out different?
I think
how did you avoid the kind of mindset?
I think the biggest thing is kind of my big move I had, like we talked about earlier. We're both from the Midwest. You're from Wisconsin. I'm from Minnesota. And then I moved here when I was 15, which is kind of like a big like developmental age, I feel like, because you're a teenager, you're in the middle of high school. So I moved my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
And I went from being really closed-minded, like I was a really closed-minded, ignorant person, because I grew up with like the same group of people that I went to elementary school with, middle school with, high school with. Like everyone knows everybody knows everyone's business, and you really just think the world revolves around you when you like live in that small town bubble. And then I moved here when I was 15, and it was just like this huge culture shock. There's so many people, and it kind of forced me to be more of an open-minded person and learn that there's so much more to the world than what's just inside your little bubble. I was kind of humbled in a way. Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that if you've never had to make new friends, and same thing, I grew up in Wisconsin, most of my friends from back in high school are still hanging out with the same people, going to the same bowling alley we went to when I was a junior in high school, doing the same thing, never never pushing themselves outside their comfort zone enough where you develop a worldview.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think not enough people do that nowadays, and I think it's important.
Yeah. They kind of just stick with what they know and what they're comfortable with, and then they just kind of roll with it, which is okay. But, you know, again, there's just so much more out there than what's in your little bubble. So
yeah, especially in LA. LA is how have you found the dating scene in LA so far?
I mean, okay, so I'm in a relationship, and we're actually going on 5 years in March. Dang. So I got lucky. Yeah.
Found one early.
Yeah. So we met when I was in high school. I was 17 and he was 19. It was freshman year of college. So he's kind of like my high school sweetheart, I guess, in a way, because I was still in high school. And yeah, we've been together since.
And how long, so 5 years, how did you guys meet? Just high school?
Through mutual friends, because all of my friends were a year older than me. So when I was a senior, they all had graduated the year before. And then one of my good friends had classes with him in college, so they became friends. And then we kind of met up in a mutual setting, and our friends played matchmaker and got us together. So
interesting.
Yeah.
And how is he dealing with the Gemini toxic traits?
He's a Sagittarius.
Oh, so you guys are toxic together. Great. It's like the blind leading the blind out here.
Yeah. And we're kind of like polar opposites in a way. Yeah. Because he's like a very grounded, I guess, more of a grounded person. I'm more of a all over the place person. So, yeah. Balance each other out.
You don't seem all over the place at all.
Yeah.
You come off very grounded. Are
really?
You a partier or are you a big...
No.
So you're grounded. Okay.
I guess. Yeah. Well, when I mean grounded, I mean more like values and things like that. But if you think of it like in a like party perspective, like, yeah, then I'm pretty grounded. I do not go out whatsoever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have any desire to?
No. I just like to stay home, read a book, play Fortnite.
Play Fortnite, so you're into video games.
Yeah.
You guys game together?
We do.
That's like every guy's dream. Like
Yeah,
a girl,
no, we
like
do.
you game together, then you know.
Yeah, no, I was a big Call of Duty. Like that's what all I would play. And then I actually used to like shut on him a lot for playing Fortnite. I'm like, who plays Fortnite?
Mm-hmm.
And then he told me like, oh, you should try playing so we can play together. And then we play like every night together.
Who wins?
We play like in a team,
But who's better?
like duos.
But who's better?
Okay, like he's not gonna watch this. He's better. Like he carries me, but then I always say I'm better.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Have you played the Nazi zombies Call of Duty?
Of course. That's like the only thing I would play.
That's the only thing I play. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so bad when I play the normal one. It's just like some like 12-year-old just like shoots me from like fucking across the map with like a pistol, and I'm like,
And it's really toxic on there too.
probably
Like when you play multiplayer, but I would only play Nazi zombies.
Yeah, that's the fun one.
It is the fun one.
For sure. So what attracted you to your boyfriend when you first met?
Well, I'm just gonna be
Or
honest.
did he kind of grow on you? Like was
No.
it like love at first sight?
I thought he was super attractive when we first met. I was like, oh, this guy is out of my league. He's like really cute. And funny story, when we first met, I actually like just got out of the hospital because I had bronchitis. And but my friends invited me out and they're like, oh, just come out. Like, we want to see you. So I like went like wearing like an oversized sweater, had no makeup on, like my hair was a mess. I didn't shower in like a few days because I literally just got out of the hospital. And then I show up, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is so cute. And I was like, I look like absolute shit right now. And then fast forward, like later that night, we went to get In-N-Out. He asked for my phone, or no, not my phone number. He asked for everyone's Instagram. He was like, oh, let's like get everyone's Instagram. But then later I found out he just wanted mine, but he didn't want to just ask for like mine. Yeah. So he asked for everyone's Instagram. But then this guy or this boy, he doesn't reach out to me for like a month. And it's been a month. And I was like, okay, I don't think he was interested because I feel like he would have reached out to me by then. And then that's when our friends were kind of playing matchmaker and kind of trying to get him to ask me out. And then so he finally did ask me out. And then, yeah, went on our first date and the rest is history.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that period of him not asking you out for a while, did that make you more attracted to him? Was there some part of you like, oh, he doesn't want me? Does he like me? The excitement?
Yeah. No, it definitely did. Because we were kind of like watching each other's stories all the time and like reacting to each other's stories. And I was 17 at the time. So I would like, I know what I was doing. I would like post like question things on Instagram, like random questions like, oh, what should I get to eat? Or like polls and stuff. And he would always respond to them. Like he would always be the first one. So like we were like kind of like on the same wavelength of like kind of talking, but not directly talking, indirectly interacting on the internet or on Instagram. Yeah.
Very Gen Z.
It was very Gen Z.
No direct, just kind of
very indirect.
Dip my toe in a little bit, see what happens.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's exactly what it was. And that did like kind of lead to like some anticipation.
Yeah. And that was your first boyfriend, or you've dated guys before?
I've dated guys before. Yeah.
Is he your normal type that you go for?
No, he wasn't. I was always, or actually, no, I'm not going to say that because I say I've only dated Asian guys, but I have dated like a lot of different guys, but the ones that have been long-term have been Asian. But no, he wasn't my type, like usual type at all. I don't have a type. I actually don't. No, I actually do not have a type.
So you like bald, short, ugly guys?
Like
with bad personalities?
No, actually the guys, okay, obviously I meant physically I don't have a type.
Got it.
Yeah. Because you can look however, but then if I have a conversation with you, my biggest thing is you have to be funny. So if you can like make me laugh, then like that instantly makes you so attractive to me. But yeah, he wasn't like my typical guy that I would end up dating because like I truly do not go for looks. Like most guys I've dated have been like shorter than me or like smaller than me. And like, yeah, smaller. Like my type growing up was always like, I would always tell my friends like, I don't care about physical looks, but I would prefer like skinny like skinnier boys than me.
That is a trend that's kind of happening right now. Like the skater kind of look.
Yeah.
Like the super skinny, no muscles.
Mm-hmm.
But most girls like tall skinny.
Yeah.
I've seen some tall skinny, ugly dudes pull mad amounts of girls. It's insane.
Yeah.
And they just have that skater look. They get a couple tattoos. Game over.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go for more the bad boy or more the nice guy?
Nice guy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about personality characteristics? What do you look for?
You know, the big thing with girls is they kind of end up with someone that kind of is like their dad, like personality like their dad, you know, because, you know, your dad is supposed to be the first man in your life that like loves you or shows you love. And I like to say my boyfriend is a good mix between like my dad and my stepdad, because my stepdad has been in my life for a long time too. So like from my dad's like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He like never says no to everyone. He's like a really giving person. He's like, if he sees someone in need, he'll like help them, like no questions asked. And my stepdad, he's a little bit more like hard exterior. He's more like a tough love kind of guy. And my boyfriend's like the perfect middle ground between them two. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with a very strict father, very old school.
Okay.
I remember one time I was riding my bike, right? And fell off, bruised my knee. I come home crying. Oh, my knee hurts, blah, blah, blah. And I remember he looked at me and he just goes, good thing you're tough. And just walks away. And anytime me and my brothers would complain, same thing, good thing you're tough, walk away. And I think that it communicated to me that, okay, Zach, life is going to be hard. There's going to be difficulties. There's going to be hardships. You're a man. You need to learn how to deal with your own problems and also deal with the emotions that come with those problems. And I think nowadays, with so much focus on mental health, so much focus on emotions and feelings, I think, and this is going to be something you probably disagree with, I don't think therapy is good for guys. I think it is hamstringing guys and teaching them, hey, like this problem that you have, instead of fixing the problem, let's try to make you feel better about the problem that still exists when you leave the therapist's office.
I actually see truth in that. Yeah. Did you ever watch the Netflix show Beef?
No.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's like a Asian like drama comedy show.
Okay.
But there's this line that like stuck out to me that the main actor says, because like everyone's like, oh, you should go to therapy, and obviously he's an Asian guy and he's like Western therapy doesn't work on Eastern minds. Like that's what he said. So that's kind of like came to my head when you brought that up, because I do agree like with what you said, because not only is my boyfriend like a guy, he's also he's Chinese, like he's Asian. So I do agree that Western therapy wouldn't really benefit or help him, because it's exactly like you said, it's how to kind of change how you feel about a problem instead of solving the problem. Because I went to therapy and that's literally what it is. It's kind of changing your coping mechanisms and also changing how you react to things versus teaching you how to solve problems or problem solve.
And that's the thing is, like, I think for girls, I don't know what it's like to be a girl. You guys have way more hormones. You have more emotions, like literally just more chemicals in your brain. So like therapy for a girl, I'm like, maybe it's good. I don't know. I just think for guys a lot of times. And it's interesting that you said the thing about Eastern culture, because I do think that Asian culture typically, more strict parents, very focused effort on hard work. And okay, if you don't like this, outwork it, be disciplined. And I think it makes sense. And that's why so many Asian families are so successful. I mean, you look at the immigrants that come in. Yeah. Asian families are typically always doctors, lawyers, start their own business, very financially well off. And I think it's because of that. Yeah. So dating for 5 years, perfect middle ground, perfect mix between each side of the spectrum. Yeah. Well, why do you think you typically end up in long-term relationship with Asian guys? Is that a choice or is it just happen to be that way?
I think it just happens to be that way. I think the biggest thing is just having the similar like culture and like value that comes like with being, you know, Asian or like living in an Asian household. So that helps a lot when you're in a relationship. Like you kind of have to be with someone that has the same values, or like not necessarily culture, but values is like what's important at the end of the day. And like if your values mix together or like work together, then I feel like that's like a really good foundation for a good relationship. So I think it just so happens that the people I'm in long-term relationships with are Asian because we have that similar value that came with like growing up in an Asian household.
Yeah. What do you think about intelligence? Is that something that's important to you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like even just being able to have like intellectual conversations like with your partner, and with intelligence also comes like emotional intelligence as well, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So I feel like it's important to be able to kind of what's the word? I'm just like trying to think how to word this. Kind of understand like your partner's emotions. Yeah, so like emotional intelligence like comes to play with that as well.
Intelligence is something that more recently, not recently, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, became much more important to me. Where early 20s, it's just like, oh, she's hot, cool.
Yeah.
And I literally think back and I'm like, I don't know what I talked about with some of these girls. When we go on a date for 3 hours, I'm like, what the fuck do we talk about? Like, was I just bored the entire time? Like, I don't understand. Last unintelligent girl I dated, I almost got arrested for animal cruelty.
Really?
But that was her fault. Yeah. We oh
my gosh.
So it was this 19-year-old.
Okay.
And we were driving to Six Flags in her dad's bright red Camaro because my BMW was in the shop. And for one thing, she was the worst driver I've ever experienced. Like, we didn't even have to go to Six Flags. The drive over was scarier than any of the roller coasters, like, for real. And on the way over, we're talking about, you know, where's the craziest place you had sex, all that kind of stuff. And she's like, I've never had car sex before.
Okay.
And she's like, let's do it like at Six Flags. We'll find like a parking spot and we'll like have car sex. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'm like, car sex is for teenagers, criminals, and poor people. You know, I'm like, well, I'm good.
Yeah.
So we get to Six Flags. We have a great time, of course. I'm an expert. I know the routes. I know the coasters. We get the fast pass, so we're not waiting in line with the peasants playing 20 questions. I'm a lion. I'm a seal. Like, fuck that shit.
I'm the peasant waiting in line playing.
So remind me never go to Six Flags. We get back to the car and it's nighttime. And the weirdest thing happened. The cars in like a 30-foot radius around our car all left for whatever reason.
Okay.
And then the street light right above our car had gone out. So it was like completely dark around our car. And she's like, Zach, the universe is manifesting us to have car sex right now. Look, there's the circle, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, if we don't have car sex, we're going to have bad karma because we're not giving the universe what it wants. So I was like, well, I guess we have to. I don't want to get bad karma.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, I guess we have to. So I go in the front seat and I put we want a stuffed animal. I put it between my ribs in the center console so I don't bruise my ribs like last time. And she starts like riding me and she has her hand on the shifter.
Okay.
And she's like using it to like push off for leverage. And we're hooking up and all of a sudden I hear and I'm like, she's like, oh fuck. And she had broken the shifter where it wasn't catching anything. So the car was stuck in park. We couldn't put it into drive.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, my dad's going to kill me. And so I Uber home, we tow the car, whatever. And she told her dad with her 17 IQ that my dog was in the car and we had gone into Six Flags and the dog must have broke the shifter somehow when we were in Six Flags. So now the next time I see her dad's fucking pissed, but not because I broke his car. He's like, you left a dog in a hot car for 8 hours while you go party at Six Flags. And I have to act like I'm some idiot animal abuser who doesn't know how to treat a dog.
Because you can't tell him the truth of what actually happened.
I know, because she already lied about it, so I'm kind of stuck. And by the way, I don't even own a dog. This is a made-up fairy tale dog that doesn't even exist in real life. So that was the last time I dated a unintelligent girl.
Wow, she couldn't come up with anything else.
And she used to do like pageants and shit. Like she was like Miss LA one year, like all that stuff. Like, didn't they teach you like how to like frame things in like good ways? But no.
Yeah, literally, because I used to do. Well, I don't want to say like I used to do pageants, that make it sound like I did a lot. I did too. And literally one of the big things is because, there's the onstage questions. You have to know how to think like on your feet and answer the question. Exactly.
In like a good light. Yeah.
So, interesting.
What do you think about manifestation and karma and things happen for a reason?
Well, I grew up in a Buddhist household. So kind of with Buddhism, hand in hand comes like spirituality. So I do believe in like karma, probably not so much manifestation, not in the way that in the media now they say manifestation, like, oh, if you like say it enough, like the universe will like grant it to you, like kind of giving all the credit to the universe. I feel like manifestation works in a way where you tell yourself it enough that it's in your subconscious, so you do the steps to like achieve whatever it is that you're manifesting. So I feel like it's not so much the universe, it's more so like yourself. So that's how I feel about manifestation.
Have you manifested anything in your life?
Not that I can think of. No. Not that I can think of, but I do like to think that I'm a lucky person. So usually when I want something, I get it. Yeah. But I don't think that's, I guess it could be manifestation in a way, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And most people in LA do not agree with me on this. But the problem is there's two things that are different that people, like you said, describe as manifestation. One is I prayed to the universe, I did my affirmations, and magically from the sky, the universe plopped this thing in my lap, right? Yeah. And then the other one is just like, yeah, I'm motivated and I set goals and I work hard and then I achieve my goals.
Exactly.
And it's like, this part of manifesting makes sense to me, but that's not manifestation. That's just doing things.
Yeah.
And the problem that I see is I meet people who say, oh, I'm manifesting my career. And I'm like, you're watching TikTok all day. You're not manifesting shit.
Yeah.
Like, you need to fucking put in the steps. So it becomes like an excuse for people.
Yeah.
To not put in the hard work and the sacrifice that's actually going to lead to what they want.
I agree.
What about karma?
I do believe in karma. I do.
Interesting.
Yeah, I believe, the energy that you put out, you'll receive back. So if you're a bad person, like, I feel like bad things will happen to you. But if you're a good person, then, good things will come to you. Yeah. What
if I told you I have a photo on my phone right now that's undeniable proof that karma does not exist?
Really? What is it? He's like, I don't have my... Did you commit a murder or something?
Worse than that.
What do you mean worse than that? Wait, I'm scared.
Can't tell anybody about this.
Oh yeah, it's just only gonna be on the podcast.
Where is the karma for this haircut that my mom made me get in high school? Where is her karma?
Okay,
she's living this nice.
Okay.
Like, when will the karma come rain down upon her and her entire bloodline?
I mean, that's like a universal, like, everyone has to go through a bad haircut phase because it's in high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone, like, okay, not so much nowadays because I feel like kids nowadays, they like skip the whole awkward phase. They just instantly go from like child to like TikToker, and like the awkward phase isn't there anymore. But I feel like before that, like it's a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage. You all have to go through that really awkward like high school, middle school phase. Yeah. Mine
lasted a bit longer than I would have preferred it to. But
it's okay. You came out of it though. That's all that matters.
It took a while.
Yeah. And then you can look back at it and like it keeps you humble, That's what I do. Like I look back at it, I'm like, shit. I'm like, shit, I looked like that, and then it like humbles me. It humbles you,
How was your middle high school experience?
Oh my gosh.
Was it easy? Was it you get made fun of?
I always make the joke that I peaked in middle school. Like I always say that. Like I had the best time of my life in middle school. I was a theater kid growing up.
I could see that, yeah.
What is that supposed to mean?
Don't worry about it.
What is that supposed to mean?
You have theater tendencies.
Do I?
Yes.
Do I? What is that? Okay. Wait, I need you to elaborate now. It's okay.
Quirky would be the best word to describe it.
Okay.
Not weird.
Okay.
Not that weird. But quirky.
Not that weird.
Not that weird.
Okay, got you. But I used to be a theater kid, and I feel like that really also attributed to like me not really giving a fuck what people think about me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like theater kids really do not care about what people think about them, because that's why they're in theater, you know? So like middle school, I was like a theater kid. I always got like the lead roles. I was in like student council, and like where like in middle school where I was at, like if you're in student council, like you were the shit. So yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because for our school is the opposite.
Yeah.
It just, are you sure this is accurate?
Yes.
Because in our school, if you're the theater kid and also in student council, then you're a huge nerd. You're a huge nerd person.
Okay. No.
But not that there's anything wrong with being a nerd.
Uh-huh.
You know, we're all nerds in our own special way, I suppose.
I mean, I'm not sure, how small was the town that you grew up in Wisconsin?
We had 800 in my high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like almost the same size as like the high school I grew up in. But I don't know if it was like the same for you, but in kind of like my small town is like you will try to do anything for attention because there's nothing else to do, you know? So if you were in sports, like that instantly made you like the popular kid. And if you're in like multiple sports, like then you're popular. And then theater, like it's still the same. Like if you're a theater, like you're still like dorky or like you're still a nerd. But student council, like if you're in student council, because you have to get voted in to be in student council. So obviously, like if you get in student council, then like a lot of people know you because you got voted in. So like you were like pretty cool when you were in student council.
What was your campaign slogan?
Okay. Here's the thing though about me being in student council. So I still was like known as like a nerd or weird or quirky, whatever. Student council, the teacher that was in charge of counting the votes was my drama teacher. So
election fraud is what you're saying.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
No, I'm dead ass serious.
No way.
Dead ass serious.
Did your opponent like January 6th you? Were they like, this election was fake?
No. But like he was the math teacher. He was like the math teacher, drama teacher, and then also was in charge of the counting the votes for student council. So he was like, yeah, I'm going to add a few more votes for you so you can get in. I'm like,
wow. You heard it here first. Election fraud. Wide scale election fraud.
I was like sixth grade. But yeah, so that's the T.
That's crazy. Interesting. Student council back in my day they didn't really do anything. But I think that's just our school. Yeah. Maybe that was you guys too.
Yeah. I think like the most like we do like a canned food drive, do like a during the holidays like a toy drive, but that's about it. Decorate the hallways for like homecoming and stuff, but that's about it.
Gotcha. And then so were you like the hot girl in high school, or were you like you had your glow up phase?
I had my glow up after I graduated high school.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you have old people from high school like sliding in the DMs like, oh man, she's hot now?
100%. Like I straight up have people have no shame. People from high school will message me and like, why didn't we talk in high school? And I'm like,
you're like, because I was ugly. And you didn't pay attention to me,
you didn't care. Exactly.
And now I'm hot shit. And I'm fucking putting you where you put me, motherfucker.
So, yeah. But no, I didn't like glow up or anything like throughout middle school and high school.
Any celebrities sliding in to the DMs?
Celebrities? Not really. I'm trying to think. No, not anything I could think of. Like influencers, yeah, but no
Just TikTok
celebrities
people,
like
Instagram people.
TikTokers or like maybe like low key singers. Yeah, that aren't like big celebrities, but
got it. What about any potential sugar daddies sliding?
Of course. I feel like that's like a universal girl experience. Like if you have a public account on Instagram and you like.
What was it in Minnesota though, or only after you moved to?
Oh, only after I moved here.
Okay.
Only after I moved here. When I was in Minnesota, like, I didn't haven't get any like attention whatsoever. Like, I didn't get into social media and all that until I came to California.
Yeah. Wisconsin is like kind of the same way. I don't think there exists sugar daddies in Wisconsin. I think the guys are too broke and the girls aren't hot enough, so it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and also it's like you don't really need sugar daddies there because the quality of life is like people don't really, it's like you said, people don't really grow, I guess is a word, or like they settle for what they have.
They do.
Yeah.
This is what I did yesterday. My dad worked at this factory. I'm going to work at the same factory until I'm 60. And then
I'm going to stay in the same town. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to marry some girl that I went to school with. And then we're going to have kids at like 20. And then that's just how it is over there. Houses are cheap. So they just like stay there.
Yeah. I when I was in Wisconsin, I was like, for sure having kids someday. Then I moved to LA. I was like, maybe. And then I had one experience. I had a bad experience with some kids in a grass hill. And now I'm like, not sure if I'm going to have kids anymore.
Well, you got traumatized from those kids, or?
So we're at this barbecue. And this is back in Wisconsin, but I'd been living in LA for 5 years, whatever. And there's this young couple that we're friends with. And it's like two little kids, the dad and the mom. They're like young. They're like 25 probably, two little boys. And the boys, what they're doing, they would go to this grass hill. They would walk up the hill. And then they go like a hot dog and roll down the hill like a hot dog.
Yeah.
So, 5 minutes in, they're like, Daddy, come roll with us. And the wife is like, oh, go roll with the kids. And so this dude would walk up the hill, go like a hot dog, roll down the hill for 3.5 hours.
Dead ass.
And I was like, I remember me and my brother just looking at him and thinking, this is like a guy who like has a job, like pays his rents, like fucking like does like adult shit. And for I bet all he wanted to do is get home from work, have a beer, watch the game, and now he's rolling down the hill. And just the look on his face just said like, I do not want to be doing this right now.
Oh, but that's a good dad though, because he still did it anyway.
It is a good dad.
Yeah, because like I feel my dads would have like played into it for like 5 minutes and then would have been like, fuck it, like go play by yourself. And surprising that the kids wanted to do that for 3.5 hours, because usually like after 10 minutes, like their like brain is like, oh, I want to do something else.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The other thing that I'm not sure is, so last time I went home, I'm hanging out with some of my friends. Most of them are married, right? And they're like, Zach, when are you going to get married? You're missing out, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. And so I asked them, I was like, later in the conversation, I'm like, what's like your ideal day? Like, what's the best thing that could happen? They're like, let's see. My wife's mom takes the kids. My wife goes out with her girlfriends and I just hang out with the boys, play some video games, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, your best day, I can do every single day of my life. Your top world experience, I can replicate every single day. What do you mean I should have kids?
What do you mean I should? I thought he was going to say something like spend time with my wife or like get some with my wife. But okay. So
one guy did say like, he still was like, the kids leave. And then he was like, yeah, I take my wife. We go out to a nice dinner.
Okay.
Or something, rekindle the flame or whatever. But I don't know. Shit scares me.
It is scary. Yeah.
I don't think I have commitment issues, but I do have commitment concerns. But you've been dating a guy for 5 years, right? So my longest relationship was 3.5.
Oh, yeah.
Was there a point where you felt like, because obviously the spark can't last forever, where the spark dies and now you have to rely on more connection and other things?
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, also because we started dating when we were so young. We're still young, but I was 17 and you change a lot from 17 to 22 and in his case 19 to 24. Like, we are completely different people from when we first met. And I think a lot of relationships in general, but especially when you're so young, typically don't last as long as we did, because you grow into different people and it just doesn't work anymore. But we've definitely had like a lot of like tribulations where we're just like, oh, we're not sure if it's working. But then when the spark dies out, then that's when it comes to like kind of work, and you have to choose to like love that person every single day. But there's days where like you really don't like the person. You're just like, to be honest, you're just like, oh my God, I can't stand you right now. Because I work with my boyfriend. We actually work together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we work together too. So
you see him all day? And then
all the time.
Do you live with him or no?
No, we don't. So that helps. That helps. But yeah, I think people have like unrealistic standards when it comes to like relationships and romance, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna feel the spark every single day, you're gonna be like head over heels in love every single day. But it's just like, that's not real life.
And so I'm assuming you guys have said I love you, everything like that.
Of course.
What do you think love is?
Such a hard question.
I have an opinion on it. So
wait, I want to hear your opinion first.
Well, so the problem is people generally say that love is some magical, ethereal experience that falls from the sky when two souls connect on a supernatural plane or whatever Disney movie bullshit that my co-host who isn't here today is all about true love and love at first sight, my soulmate, blah, blah, blah. And I just don't see that, because I'm not delusional, gullible, nor do I have the brain of a small child. So to me, love is like, okay, what do the people with the most experience say? So the old people, right? That have been in love for 40 years. And all of them say something like, love is hard work, love is sacrifice, love is like all these things. And so it does bother me a little bit, because I've only been in what I would consider love once. But before that, I had thought that I was in love 4 or 5 times until I met a certain person. Then I was in love. And then since then, I haven't had anything that's even remotely comparable to that experience.
Okay.
So what do you see as like kind of what love is, and how do you know if you're in love versus just, the feelings of validation and acceptance you get from somebody?
I think everyone has different definitions of love, right? And for me personally, I think love is like, I agree with everything that you said, like about the old people, like hard work, sacrifice, all that, because it is. But for me, love is like comfort and stability. Like that's what I seek for, like in a relationship or like in love. So that's, I guess, my definition. Like comfort, stability, because that's also really hard to come by nowadays, especially the stability part.
I think the hard part is nowadays, because there's so much access to people with dating apps and Instagram and everything else. It's when the relationship gets hard, which inevitably will get hard and it requires work. A lot of people will just jump ship and say, oh, it's not working. The universe does not want me to be with this person, blah, 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 blah. And then they just break up instead of saying, okay, like, let me actually look in the mirror, say, hey, am I contributing to this in some ways? Also, how can I make this work? Let's actually hash everything out and figure it out, And I think people just hop on Instagram, hop on Tinder, hop on Hinge, and just find somebody new. But you're probably never had to deal with the online dating saga, huh?
No.
Yeah, you haven't had to do that. You haven't had to deal with the whole sugar daddy culture. Nothing.
That's why I say, like, I'm really lucky to like be in the position that like I am, and like I found the person like so early on, and I didn't have to like go through all that, because like I see what my friends go through, and like especially the LA dating scene, and I'm just like,
have any of your friends done the sugar daddy thing?
Of course. I mean, modeling too. Like a lot of models can't really have the lifestyle they want off of modeling. So like, where else are they going to get that money from?
Yeah.
But like, get your bag.
Yeah. So somebody once told me, they were like, it was an interesting point. They're like, if you meet a girl who's a model and she doesn't have a job outside of modeling, she doesn't do OnlyFans, and yet she lives in this 1-bedroom apartment in Beverly Hills that's nice. He's like, it's either dad or it's daddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the two. Either your parents pay for it or you have a sugar daddy.
Exactly.
Which I think there is a lot of truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
I did get accused of being a sugar daddy once. I'm still mad about it.
Really?
I got this fucking girl. And I'm not even mad at her for accusing me. I'm mad at her because I didn't have a good comeback and it was in front of her friends. Mm-hmm. And I'm smarter than her, so I should have outsmarted her, but she outsmarted me. And
okay, so that's why you're mad.
Yeah.
Okay, you got outsmarted.
So we're talking with our friends. And like I said, I grew up with like a very old school father.
Yeah.
So chivalry is very important. If you take a girl on a date, you're paying. None of this 50-50 bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, if you're walking on the sidewalk, you know, walk on the car side.
Exactly.
So if a car comes, stop it with one hand. Protect my chick with
What
the
are
other.
you, Edward Cullen from Twilight?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking muscles, baby. Andrew Tate, nothing stops me. And so if I take a girl on a trip, which I like to travel, and whenever I travel, if I'm dating somebody they're coming with, of course, I pay for everything. Mm-hmm. Like, I would feel weird telling a girl like, hey, here's the Venmo request for $87.23 for an Uber ride, you know? Uh-huh. And so in front of all our friends, she's like, Zach, you know you're a sugar daddy. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, and by the way, this is like the most powerful sugar baby, like this side of the Mississippi. Like she has 10 sugar daddies. This guy buys her purses. This guy, you know, pays for trips for her. She has like all the infinity stones like lined up of the sugar daddies. Mm-hmm. And she's like, okay, Zach, you pay for 5-star hotels. You pay for everything. And she goes, Zach, every guy pays for girls in some way, whether it's drinks, whether it's dinner, whether it's Louis Vuitton purse, you know. She's like, every guy's a sugar daddy. Some of them just don't admit it. And I didn't have a good response at the time.
Yeah.
And now, like, you know, you're in the shower, you think of a good comeback. So I have my comeback now. But let me ask you this. What do you think? Like, where do you draw the line of, like, this is what a normal boyfriend would do versus this is, like, what a sugar daddy buys for somebody?
Interesting. I mean, so my line between, like, boyfriend, sugar daddy, and also, like, husband, I guess. So when you're kind of dating, like you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, I think it's like normal for him to like pay for meals, buy you gifts or whatnot, things like that. When you're married, I agree. Like, I don't agree, like believe in like that 50-50 shit. Like I'm pretty traditional in the sense that like I believe, obviously it depends on your relationship and like how you are as a woman too. Like I believe like men should like be providers in a way. So I feel like the fine line between like boyfriend and sugar daddies, like sugar daddies are like the providers like for these girls, but like without the ring, you know?
So okay, interesting. So like when you and your boyfriend go out, you guys aren't married. Mm-hmm. Does he pay or do you guys split things?
Oh, it's either he pays most of the time, but sometimes like I'll like sneak in and like I'll pay too.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I think that nowadays, because I'm very traditional relationships kind of person. Mm-hmm. But Beyonce and Andrew Tate are ruining everything for everybody. Yeah. Because nowadays I think girls are all taught from movies and Beyonce and TikTok. Yeah, strong, independent woman, make your own money, all that kind of stuff, which is fine. I actually think I understand if you're a girl, you don't want someone to have power over you. Good for you. Yeah. But the problem is a lot of girls, and I'm going to shit on guys in a second, don't worry about that. A lot of girls want to have the boss bitch attitude and this personality of being fierce and all this stuff, but they don't want the responsibility of being a boss. Yeah. And it's like being a boss is not fun. Mm-hmm. Being a boss is people are going to dislike you. You're going to have to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning because something went wrong and you're the only one who can fix it. Mm-hmm. And so if you want to have bad bitch attitude, cool, but then like get a job, make your own money, do all these things. Right? Yeah. And then guys, on the other hand, watch 3 Andrew Tate videos. They're like, I am the alpha. Like, what are you the alpha of? The fucking Wendy's that you're a cashier at? Are you the alpha of that?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just say that you're the boss. Like, you have to actually do something to become the boss.
Yeah.
So now all these relationships with like guys who think their ego was blown up and they're not doing shit, and then the girl's not doing shit either, and it's just like the blind leading the blind at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But would you be okay if you got married being more of the caretaker, taking care of the kids,
Oh,
taking
100%.
care of the household? Okay.
100%. Like, this is like not new news. Like, everyone that knows me knows this. Like, I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, be a stay-at-home mom, take care of the kids. My dream is actually to like live on a ranch and have like horses and cows and goats and
You're the
chickens.
third girl who has told me that.
Really?
I don't believe any of y'all.
No, I mean, I'm from Minnesota too, so that should probably like make it more believable because that's how I grew up.
I suppose. Did you grow up on a farm or just
I didn't grow up in a farm, but all my friends did. But I like lived in like a trailer park in the buttfuck middle of nowhere. So yeah, I didn't have animals. I wish I did, but like if I like left my neighborhood, like I was in farmland, farm country. So yeah.
And you don't think you would get bored?
No. Literally, I would like collect my chicken eggs every day and then sell my eggs to like my neighbors. Yeah, that's like, and then like eventually when my kid's old enough, have them go collect the chicken eggs and have them go sell it. I don't know. I just like that's like the type of life I would want to have.
One of my friends said she wants to get a private island and start a farm on it and then just make her own food.
That sounds nice too.
But how many times can you pick up the eggs from the chicken coop before you get bored of it? Like, aren't you gonna be bored? Or are you just gonna play Fortnite all day in the den?
Yeah, Fortnite and collecting and selling chicken eggs. That's the dream right there.
Well, luckily for you, it seems like a very attainable dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
but what about like modeling? You don't want to. Is that a passion of yours? Is that a hobby? Is it something you're really trying to pursue?
I mean, it's not something that I'm like really trying to pursue because, it's hard to like get to that top level unless you're a Nepo baby, of course, or if like you have like your big break.
A what baby?
A Nepo.
What's that?
Nepotism baby.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go. Unless you're like a Nepo baby or like you've had your one big break. But I actually do enjoy more of the production side of things, behind the scenes side of things that I've been doing more so this past year. More like producing and like putting together the shoots and being behind camera versus being in front of it. But I do like a good mix of both right now.
Interesting. It is interesting to me. So I dated this girl one time and we flew to New York because she had like a gig or whatever. And she was like taller than me. She was like 6'1". Oh, wow. Did the whole fashion modeling thing. And I came to one of her shoots and it was this 8-hour shoot. And I remember sitting there and because she was like scared, like, what if it's sketchy? I want you to like be there, whatever. And she would literally just go put on some clothes. Then like this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle. Boom, done. Go put on the next set of clothes. Yeah. Same 5 angles, next set of clothes. And I remember thinking, like, is this fun? Because to me, it seems so boring. Yeah. And I'm like, I get it. It's not my passion. But I'm like, do people enjoy this? Or do they just like the clout of after it's done, hey, look, I modeled for Louis Vuitton. Here's me in Louis Vuitton. How cool do I look? Is it more of the result?
I think it's a mix of both. I think it really depends on, I guess, the type of person, type of model you are. I think I can't speak for other people, obviously. For some people, it is the result, and like being able to like say you worked for like this big brand and be able to post it, because that goes hand in hand with social media and like being able to show off and all that. But for me, with modeling, I've always enjoyed it more from the creative side and like networking with like the makeup artists, hair artists, photographers, and all that, because I have interest in all of those things. So I'm the model that's always asking questions, like on set, like with the makeup artist, the photographer, all of that. So that's where I find joy in it, like the creative process of the work and the project.
I see. But it almost seems like it's not even the creative process of the modeling. It's the creative process of everything that surrounds it. Yeah. Could you see yourself becoming a photographer, makeup artist, something in that space?
I think producing. Yeah, I think producing is probably what I find the most interest in. I don't think I am creative enough to be like a photographer or like a makeup artist or anything. Like I'm not really that good with my hands. But when it comes to like organizing and like putting things together, like the producing side of things, I feel like I'd be able to thrive in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's essentially the same space I was in for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the same way as you. Like, even though like I play piano as well, that's actually how I make most of my money off a YouTube channel. And even with piano, you know, people say you must be so creative because you play music. I'm like, not really. Piano is mostly, okay, I'm trying to create this emotion. So to create this emotion, I use these chords, I use these notes, and I use these rhythms, tempo, BPM. It's like a very logical process. And that's the same thing with, you know, producing an event where it's, okay, it's a lot of just organizational skills. It's a lot of being on top of shit, you know. But I think that's going to be hard as a Gemini. I mean,
yeah.
You're going to burn a lot of bridges that way.
Probably. Yeah, because I think that's what's hard with work right now is I cannot stand incompetent people. Like I cannot like
I'm the same
or
way.
like stupid
You don't
people
suffer fools.
or unintelligent people. Like if you like are dumb or like if you can't do your job, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like I want to like instantly like cancel you out. Like I cannot stand incompetent people. I'm like, just do your job, please. And
It's like, this is not
try.
that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think is your most toxic trait?
What is my most toxic trait?
Or your biggest red flag?
My biggest red flag. I think it is like my ability to cut people off so easily. Like just cut you off. If you do me like dirty and I feel like it's
That surprises me. You don't seem like that type of person.
no, I can just like instantly like block, delete, bye. No
I
explanations.
like keeping my enemies around.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't, because I'm like a lot of like protecting my peace person. So I'm just like push everyone away.
I hang out with my arch nemesis all the time, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's a very Pisces thing to do.
Maybe. It keeps life interesting.
Okay,
It keeps
I see
life,
that. I see that.
And what is life? It's ups and downs, but without the downs, you don't get the ups.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
that's
fun.
true because I've like kept my circle so small and push everyone away. I have no drama in my life. So like, where am I getting like that excitement? So I watch a lot of like reality TV to like fill in for like the lack of drama. Or I like to hear other people's drama that has like nothing to do with me. I'm like, oh, let me hear it.
See, I'm the type where I'm kind of like the center of our friend group that everybody kind of like comes to because I brought a lot of people together.
Okay.
And so everybody comes to me with their drama.
Oh.
So I get to have the fun of the drama, but I'm never in the drama. I'm
Okay.
always, this person did this person did this. It's like they both complain to me to each ear, and then I have to, you know,
Do you mediate?
mediate. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like the therapist of our group,
Okay.
which is ironic
Gotcha.
because I'm like the least emotional person.
Okay. But hey, that's probably why they go to you though, because you're not so emotional, so you can give more of like a level-headed, unbiased.
I'm very
Perspective.
unbiased. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very
That's good.
logical in my decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they go to you.
Probably. All right, we're about out of time. We're gonna do some rapid fire questions.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Quick questions, quick answers.
Okay.
Favorite food?
Shoot. Hot pot.
Hot pot.
Like Chinese hot pot.
What is that?
Like, have you heard of Heidi Lao? No. Chinese hot pot. I don't know. Like, imagine Korean barbecue, but with soup.
I fucking love Korean.
Yeah. So Korean barbecue, but with soup.
Interesting. Have you gone to Gayukaku?
Yes.
It's actually
that's
Japanese.
Japanese
Yeah.
barbecue. I've never
it's
been
so
there, but I've heard of it.
It's all you can eat.
Ooh.
And usually all you can eat is like the food's kind of shitty. But this one
It's
is
good.
so
Okay, for sure.
And Korean barbecue is like me and my boys because we're like eat a lot. We all like work out, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's always, we just chucked out like all the Korean barbecues. Like Road to Seoul was our go-to for a while. And then we kind of switched up to Gayukaku.
Yeah. I can out-eat anyone in Korean barbecue.
I highly doubt that.
I really can. I can
I
eat
could
a lot of
definitely
meat.
out-eat you.
I really can. Like everyone I've ever eaten with, I always out-eat them in Korean barbecue. I'm the last one standing. Every time.
Do you work out a lot or you just
No, I just
genetics?
have a genetics.
Genetics. I don't understand why people don't just have good genetics more often. People are at the gym. I'm going on this diet. Just have good genetics. It's so easy.
Yeah, just like
just show up and just, you know, burn it off natural. That's what I do.
yeah.
All right, favorite candy.
Shoot. Twix.
Twix is solid.
Yeah, Twix.
Favorite I know you're in a 5-year relationship, but favorite first date spot or activity?
I think arcade is a good one. Arcade.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like Dave and Buster's?
Yeah, you can talk, you can like be competitive, have like some banter. Banter is really important.
I agree.
Yeah, like if someone takes you to the movies on a first date, that's a
movies is
terrible
the worst.
first date.
It's the worst.
You can't even talk. It's awkward, and yeah, maybe like so arcade or like a picnic, or even like if you can afford it, like if you're not like super young, or like go to Disneyland or like Six Flags or something. I think that's
I don't
really
like
fun
that for
date.
a first date.
Okay,
Because sometimes, what if the girl's boring? Now you're standing in line with a boring person for like an hour and you just don't click.
True. Well, I also just like thought in my brain, like, what if you take someone to Disneyland and it's like your first date, like you set the expectations too high. So now like all the dates after that have to be like to that level.
Super good. Like you just take her out to a nice dinner. She's like, "What the fuck is this bullshit?"
Yeah, she's
Catch?
like, you took me to
LA. The
you
fuck?
took me to Disneyland on our first date. Like, hello. But yeah, arcade's a good
You
one.
know what's funny about Disneyland is I was talking to my Wisconsin friends one time, and I was like, "Oh yeah, me and my friends are like planning to go like Disneyland," and they're like, "Oh, like your friends have kids?" I'm like, "No," and they're like, "You're just going to Disneyland like as adults,
Yeah.
like with no kids?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "What? Like you just go see Mickey Mouse and like fucking?" I'm like, "No, it's fun."
Yeah,
They're
it is
like, what
fun.
do you mean? They're like, it's a child's thing.
Yeah,
it's so
it's
funny,
not.
like the difference in culture here versus
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
No, it is.
Yeah,
Disneyland's so fun, especially you go to California Adventure, you get some drinks.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, get a couple drinks. Most of my friends do Molly at Disneyland. I don't really do drugs like that, but it's I
Interesting.
could see that being fun as well for
Yeah.
sure. Favorite outdoor activity: rock climbing, hiking.
Maybe just like taking a nap on the beach. Yeah, I don't like going in the water because I'm terrified of the ocean, but I like to just like everything, just like what's in there. But I like to lay on the beach, like on a nice hot day, and just like take a nap.
All right. Any social media you want to shout out? Where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Sancthea. It's my full name. And then,
You might want to spell that for people.
yeah, SEANGTHEA.
Awesome. Well, this has been fun. We'll have to do
Yeah.
round 2 sometime.
I know, it's a good conversation.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.